everyone, you're welcome to this week's Business and Investment Tips program, a production of Christ Church Radio with Ayodeji Ebo, an investment professional. This week, the focus is on the highlights from the IMF's assessment of the Nigerian economy. Last week, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which plays a supervisory and monitoring role globally, published the outcome of its meetings with Nigeria's fiscal and monetary authorities in July 2022. This is an annual exercise where the IMF offers policy recommendations on trade, economic, fiscal, and monetary issues. We highlight some of the challenges mentioned and recommendations. Observations. The IMF highlighted that the Nigerian economy has grown 3.4% as of Q2 2022 for 7 consecutive quarters, largely driven by the technology, trade, and finance sectors. However, oil production has continued to dwindle since mid-2022 due to low investments, poor maintenance, and oil theft. The IMF estimates that the economy will grow by 3% year-on-year in 2022, but expects an improvement in the 2023 as authorities try to curb oil theft. 2. The IMF stated that despite Nigeria's limited direct exposure to the war in Ukraine, it has mildly driven domestic food prices higher as inflation reached a 17-year high of 21.1% year-on-year in October 2022. The rise in inflation is mainly attributed to high insecurity, but the harvest season is expected to provide a reprieve. 3. The IMF raised concerns about the rising fiscal deficit, the high debt servicing costs, and public debt. This is expected to continue due to fuel subsidy spending, which leaves little fiscal room for vital social spending on education and health. Some of the downside risks identified which will impact Nigeria's outlook include: A. The recent flooding and high fertilizer prices could impact agricultural production and food prices in 2023. B. Unrelenting volatility in the parallel market exchange rates. C. Federal government's continued dependence on CBN financing to bridge the budget deficit. Policy recommendations. Removal of fuel subsidy, which disproportionately benefits mostly the well-off. We believe this should be gradual and not at once, as policies should be put in place to reduce the impact on the population. E. Prioritize minimizing oil theft and improving governance in the oil sector to restore production to pre-pandemic levels. F. Adopt tax policy reforms which include further increasing VAT to 15% by 2027 and streamlining numerous VAT exemptions. We believe the focus should be on expanding the tax base than increasing the tax rate to prevent overburdening the small fraction of the population that contributes to the tax pot. G. Increase social intervention spending to 1.7% of GDP during 2022 to 2027 to cushion the impact of high inflation and fuel subsidy removal on the poor. H. Fully sterilize the impact of CBN's financing of fiscal deficits on the money supply and limit CBN's overdrafts to the government to the statutory limit of 5% of the previous year's revenue. I. Further increase monetary policy rate MPR to send a tightening signal in the bid to curb inflation. MPR has had little or no impact on interest rates in Nigeria. J. Gradually phase out CBN's credit intervention program, which expanded rapidly during the pandemic to support the economy and is often at odds with the bank's tightening stance. K. Modernization of the CBN's Act to establish price stability as its primary objective and ensure timely publishing of audited financial statements. I. A unified and market clearing exchange rate is required to enhance foreign investors' confidence. Also, the IMF recommended freely determined FX buy-sell rates. We opine that Nigeria's economy is not ripe for a free-float FX management system. Hence, we recommend the managed float FX management system with adjustments done as required in a timely manner. While most of the IMF observations and recommendations are not new, we believe that deliberate efforts in implementing some of these recommendations will boost Nigeria's output growth and put the country on the path to prosperity. Thank you for listening. Please join us same time next week for another exciting and insightful session. For questions, comments, and feedback, kindly forward to ebo.ayodeji@gmail.com or send an SMS to 07082463747. Stay blessed.